So you've heard how good push-ups are, right? Are you struggling to do even just one? It's not a problem. I have the perfect program that'll get you to that end result. Stay tuned. Now, I know that a lot of people struggle with push-ups. Quite often it's a technique thing. Also, there is an element of strength there, but also just knowing how to actually do it in the first place is an absolute bonus. So what I wanted to do today was go through about 3 or 4 different techniques that we can do to build you up towards that first push-up that you want to do. Okay, so we're going to start with various different exercises, and what I want you to do is bear in mind that we're not going to achieve a full-on push-up in 5 minutes. Okay, this is going to take a little bit of time, a little bit of patience on your part, and a little bit of work, to be honest. Over a period of time, you will see progression and ultimately the full push-up that you so badly desire. Now, the push-up is such a great exercise. It's what's known as a compound exercise because it works multiple muscles within the body. So let's get started. The first exercise we're going to move into is what we call an incline push-up. Now, some people may struggle to do this just on a bench or stairs or sofa or whatever. So what I'm going to suggest is that you do an incline wall push-up first of all. Now, this will help develop the strength in the triceps. In order to be able to do this, obviously it all comes down to technique. You may think, oh, it's all fairly simple, but if you get this one right, then as you move forward, all of the others will seem a lot more simple. I will demonstrate that for you now.
Place your hands on the wall, and they want to be probably about shoulder height, level with your chest. Okay, you want them about shoulder width apart, and you want to lean slightly, take your feet slightly away from the wall. And then basically what you're going to do is lower yourself to the wall. What I want to see is making sure you keep your elbows pointing backwards down, running parallel with your body. So what I don't want to see is your arms coming out this way, because you put an awful lot of stress on your shoulders. So keeping your hands flat on the wall, about shoulder height or chest height, about shoulder width apart, feet the same, about shoulder width apart, and you're basically just going to lower yourself to the wall, come up onto your toes if you need to, and then back, okay? Keeping those elbows pointing downwards towards your body, and back up. Okay, it's quite a gentle movement, don't do it too fast, and you'll start to feel the tension building in your triceps. So this is what we're doing, we're building the tricep muscles, getting ready for that elusive push-up. Okay, so we're going to do 8 to 10 of these. And it's important that you rest. Okay, so once you've done your 8 to 10, if you can manage 10, fantastic, straight away. If it's too easy, take yourself slightly further away from the wall with your feet. Bring your hands down because they still need to be chest height. Obviously, as you've brought your feet back, you'll need to bring your hands down a bit. And then you're going to come back in. You will need to come up onto your toes now and back up. Okay, keeping the body nice and straight. Don't let it bend. And don't have your bum sticking out. So keeping that body nice and straight and back up. Okay, so as I say, it's important to rest. Make sure you rest for up to 60 seconds, maybe even 90 seconds if you feel that you need to. And then we go again. So we'll do 8 to 10 again in the second set, 8 to 10 again in the third set. If you can do all 3 sets of 10, then it may well be time to move on to the next one, which is the bench incline push-up.
What I want you to work on now is the bench push-up. Now, I appreciate that this bench may be a little lower than something that you're used to working on, so you could maybe work on a sofa or even the stairs. If you've got a set of stairs, this is absolutely perfect because you can actually increase and decrease the gradients as and when you get more comfortable with doing each exercise. But using the same techniques as we did on the wall, we're now going to use the same on the bench. So get yourself into that position. We're going to come up onto our toes. Again, the hands are everything's going to want to be in line. So shoulder, elbow, wrist. And the idea is what we want to do is lower our chest to the bench. Okay, so we want to keep our body nice and straight. Again, we don't want the bum to come up and we don't want to be sagging in the middle. So the ultimate goal is to come down, keeping those elbows pointing down towards the body rather than out to the side. So not pushing out that way because the extra stress you're going to put on your shoulders. Your hands are going to want to be probably a little bit wider than shoulder width. And then we're going to come down, lower ourselves down
and back up. Okay, and we're going to want to do that 8 to 10 times if we can. Good stuff. Not too fast. Okay, good. So that's 8. And what we're going to do is do 8 to 10, as I said before, and we're going to rest, minute and a half, and then we're going to go into the second set, do 8 to 10 if we can, rest again, and then into the third set, 8 to 10 again. Okay, you should start to feel this time probably a little more tension in the chest, a little more resistance here. So now obviously we've built or have been building the tricep muscles on the wall press. Now on the bench press we're doing the chest.
So once you're able to do the 3 rounds of 8 to 10 repetitions in each of those exercises for 30 days, you're going to want to move on and drop yourself down now to a much lower height.
Moving on then to the next exercise, or the next progression within the incline push-up exercises. Hopefully by now you've done 30 days on the wall, you've done 30 days on the bench. We're now going to move to 30 days on a lower incline. So again, you can see this is probably about 1 or maybe 2 stairs up on your staircase, or even similar to your front doorstep if you've got one. But I'm sure you can find something that is a similar height. So we're going to adopt exactly the same techniques as before. We're going to have the hands around shoulder width apart, maybe a little wider. Our feet about the same, just to help support us and keep us steady. Some people prefer their feet closer together. I personally prefer them further apart. So shoulder width. Again, we're going to look for those wrist, elbow,
So stage 2, once you've completed the incline push-up progression, so you've gone through from the wall to the bench, through to the lower level, so step, the next level will be to move on to a knee negative push-up.
Well, congratulations if you've made it this far. So as I said to you in the beginning of this video, this push-up progression is not going to happen overnight. Okay, you need to build those muscles. You need to build on the technique. Obviously, if you feel you can move forwards faster, then please do. But remember those 8 to 10 reps, 3 times, 30 days, okay, every day. So moving on, the next one we're going to do is slightly different from what we have been doing, because we're actually not going to use the push technique now as part of the push-up. So what we're looking to do is literally just do the exact opposite. So we're going to do the negative part of the push-up. And this now works on building the strength in the back. Okay, so the negative, and we're going to start on the knees, because to do this straight from the toes is incredibly difficult. Okay, so we're going to take the knees back. We're going to make sure that that body's nice and flat like it was before when we were doing the other incline push-ups. Wrist, elbow and shoulder in line. Hands just over shoulder width apart. Keeping the head slightly up. And we're going to come down slowly, probably to the count of about 5. Chest on the floor and then back up. Now if you can't do the back up part, that's fine. Just lower yourself down. Relax. And then if you need to, just come up on your elbows and get yourself back into position and do the whole thing again. Okay, I admit that this takes a little bit of time. But once you get comfortable with being able to do it, you should probably be able to push yourself back up fairly comfortably. Okay, lower yourself down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the temptation here is to flare the elbows, because obviously there's a lot more tension now going on with the chest and the arms and now into the back. As I say, the temptation is to do this with the elbows, but no, make sure if you need to, just turn your hands out a little bit to remind yourself to keep those elbows coming down the side of your body, like so. Then push yourself back up, into position, and back down again. Good stuff. Okay, so that's the knee negative push-up. Again, 8 to 10 repetitions, 3 times, for 30 days. You've got this.
Once you've achieved the knee negative push-up, what you'll be looking to progress onto is being able to do a negative push-up on your toes. The next stage for the push-up progressions is moving up onto your feet and doing that as a negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up onto our feet just under shoulder width apart, and we're going to lower ourselves down like we did before and get ourselves back up on our knees, and then lower ourselves down again. Okay, good. And again, we're going to do this 8 to 10 times, keeping that body nice and straight. So we're starting in a high plank position and then lowering ourselves down. Good. Come back up again and lowering ourselves down. And what you'll find is that starts to work into your back. So it's working into your lat muscles, into your shoulders, the tops of your shoulders and your traps, and also into your rhomboid muscles. Now that you can do negatives on your toes, what I'm going to ask you to do is a knee push-up. So we're going to go through the full range of motion on the knees.
So having completed all of the progressions, what we're now going to do is move on to a knee push-up and then eventually into the toe push-up. So the knee push-up, as I've said before, we're going to get ourselves into position. We're going to have our body nice and flat and straight, making sure that the elbows are going to be pointing down the body, and we're literally going to come down into the push-up like we did before with the negatives, and then push back up again. Come down and back up. Down and back up. Down and back up. Okay. And then, you know what I'm going to say? Once you've done 8 to 10 of those 3 times for 30 days, you're then going to want to move on to the full push-up. And I know that by now you will definitely be able to do this. You've probably even tried it during the course of the progressions anyway. And to be honest, I wouldn't blame you if you have. As long as you've mastered the technique and you've built up the strength, which you almost guaranteed to have done so, you're going to be ready to do the toe push-up. As I say, if you haven't already done it or tried it, I'd be surprised. Okay, which is a good thing, don't get me wrong. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves into that high plank position like we did with the negatives. We're going to lower ourselves down and push back up. Lower ourselves down, push back up. Okay, 8 to 10 of these. If you can't do 8 to 10, just drop to your knees and keep going. Okay, but well done if you can get to this. That's an awesome job. I hope this video has been useful to you. As I said before, if it has, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, click the little bell icon below to get more fantastic videos like these. I very much look forward to seeing you in the future. Take care for now and good luck with your push-ups.